What does refinance mean and how you can leverage that to create your wealth? Stay tuned. Back to the channel, my people. It's your boy Mr. Getting It Done. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, like this video, and share with anybody that you think may be able to utilize it as value to level up. So let's get right into it. One of my people's on my IG hopped in my DM and asked me what is refinance? What does refinance mean? So we're gonna go ahead and tackle this in this video. We're in the garage with the Porsche today, but Uncle Mr. Getting It Done, we're gonna have a little seat right here and we're gonna talk about refinance. Okay, so my peeps, refinance, right? I'm gonna make this as simple as possible. It's not gonna be a long strung out video. It's not gonna be complicated. I'm not gonna use terminology that you cannot understand. I'm gonna break it down simple layman terms, my peeps. So refinance, right? So whenever you buy a property, whether it's a primary residence or an investment property or a multifamily. So real quick, before I get into this, if you're in the market, right, to buy your first property, I suggest highly get a multifamily, okay? I recommend buying a multifamily instead of a single family, simply because you can live on one unit, the other two units you can collect rent from, and then that'll cover your mortgage. So essentially you can live for free. And the money that you would have put towards a mortgage, you can save that and you can stack that up to get into your next investment property. And also, if you buy your first investment property multifamily through FHA, which is a government-backed loan, you can put as little as 3.5% down, right? And then to get you into a multifamily, a 3-unit preferably, okay? And then after a year of you living in that unit on the first floor, second floor, third floor, whatever you choose, you can go ahead and opt out and get into a single family residence. You can just tell them that, you know, you're looking for your own space, and then you qualify for another 3.5% down. Okay, so that's a nugget. So I recommend, in my opinion, get a 3-family first, my people. I know it sucks living on a floor. I know you want your privacy, but at the end of the day, it's a great investment tool, a great way to get into real estate, get your feet wet, because you just have to make the sacrifice for the short term. You got to make the short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain, because after a year, you can go ahead and get into another single family, which is what you want, for 3.5% down versus having to put down the 20%. So, boom, I digress. Let's get right into it. So whenever you purchase a property, whether it be a single family or multifamily, okay, whenever you buy it, whether it's distressed, I recommend buying a property that you can add value to. Okay, so if you buy a distressed property, aka a property that needs work, property that's been sitting on the market, a property that's been vacant, property that needs a new roof, plumbing, electrical, etc. If you buy a property that is distressed, you can add value. So the quickest way to build equity in a property is to buy a distressed property, because as you redo the roof, plumbing, flooring, bathroom, kitchen, etc., that's adding value to that property. So once you get all those renovations done, all those remodels done, right, you can then go back to the bank and have them come out and do an appraisal on the property, and then the increase in the property value is the equity that you built in that property. So for an example, if you buy a property, $100,000, I'm gonna use simple numbers, okay, let's keep it simple. You buy a $100,000 property, okay, you put $50,000 in it. You redid everything, right? Roof, plumbing, electrical, flooring, bathrooms, kitchens, bedrooms, everything. You did everything over. Paint, right? You spent 50 grand. So now you're all in, out of your pocket, 150,000. You got the property for 100. You put 50,000 in renovations, so 150,000 is what you're all in. Okay, so you go to the bank, you ask for an appraisal. The appraiser comes out. What they're gonna do is they're gonna take your home. They're going to take the bedrooms and the square footage, and they're going to look at comparable comps in the area. That is simply what other houses are sold for within the last 6 months to a year in that area. Okay, and then they're going to take the values of those, and then yours will appraise somewhere in between that. So if those properties that are surrounding you sold for $300,000, let's say, right? All those properties, the similar bedrooms, similar square footage, all those properties sold for 300 or north of 300, whatever the case is. Now your property is going to appraise within that realm. So let's just say it appraises for 300,000. Now you have 150,000 in equity, just like that. You spent 50 grand and you built 150,000 in equity. Now, when you go to the bank, most lenders are not going to refinance 100%. Okay, some of them go 80, 75, 90% LTV, loan to value. Okay, so whenever that happens, you take what you can get. If you can find a lender that goes up as high as I've seen them as high as 90, right? If you find a lender that refinance you as far up as 90 LTV, 90% LTV, loan to value, then you got a nice little payday. So what happens is when you refinance that property, okay, and you're gonna go take out that cash, that equity, that's considered a cash out refinance. That means you're pulling out cash from your property. Now you're going to have a new loan. Okay, and I don't hear a lot of people just talking about it. They talk about refinance, they kind of give you the process, but they don't tell you like what's happening from there on out. So if your property does appraise for 300 and you go to take out whatever 90%, you're going to have a new mortgage on that property for $300,000. Okay, so your payment is going to increase. However, you're walking away with, let's just say, for example, $100,000. And what can you do with $100,000? If you were smart, you can go ahead and get that second investment property, or you can invest that into an NFT, into crypto, into the stock market, right? Something that's going to, yield a high dividend, compounding interest. Whatever the case is, you're going to take that money and you're going to go reinvest it. So at the end of the day, it's going to offset that increase in that mortgage for that particular property. So that is refinance in a nutshell. Okay, it's GED simple. I didn't make it too extravagant. I don't want to get too technical, right? But that is it in a nutshell. You buy a property, you add value, right? And then the difference between what your property is worth after you add the value, considered up against your loan amount, that's what's called equity. Okay, and when you build equity, you can refinance, which is also considered refi for short. You can refinance and pull that money out. Okay, and that cash is in your bank account, liquid, readily available. This is how real estate investors make millions and millions of dollars. This is why today real estate is the #1 profession in the world that has produced the most amount of millionaires, because of the fact that you can refinance your property once you've added value, which is tremendous, which is powerful. I want you guys to let that sink in. If you have a property, whether it be a single family or a multifamily, right? Look into doing the most bang for your buck is doing kitchens and bathrooms. So if you have an outdated kitchen, outdated bathroom, get on those puppies, make that happen. Spend the 10 or 15 grand, 20 grand to really redo those areas, and then you can bet your money, right? This is not gambling. You can bet your money that your property is going to increase in value. And then you can go to the bank, ask for another appraisal. When they come out, like I said, they'll use the comparable comps in that area that sold between the last 6 to 12 months that are within the same bedroom and the same square footage of your property. And then they'll use that as a barometer to gauge how much your property is worth. So what can you do with another $100,000? Okay, so when you buy a property, okay, maybe it takes you 3 or 4 months, right, to get everything done, to get all the work done. So you spent $50,000 to do a complete rehab, and it took you about 4 months. But after 4 months, you can tap into $100,000 in equity that your property has appraised for after you're done with it. That's powerful, right? Let that sink in. So if you currently have a property, get in those areas, kitchens and bathrooms, add value, redo them, go out, refi, pull out that equity, and invest. Do not spend it frivolously. Okay, don't go buy liabilities, go buy more assets. And when you have enough assets to outweigh your liabilities, then we're talking about wealth building. Then we're talking about generational wealth, okay? So there it is, my people. Not gonna keep going on. You got the point. If you have any more questions, I appreciate y'all hopping in my DM on my Instagram. I appreciate you guys following me, but you can also leave them in the comments of this video. Whatever it is that you want to hear or for me to talk about, whether it be real estate, whether it be, you know, hard money. I actually have a question about that, so I'll be making a video about that. Whether it be credit, I'm a FICO certified specialist, so I'm a credit expert. I know everything about credit, business credit, whatever it is, my peeps. Put it in the comment below and I'll definitely make a video breaking it down for you so we can get the information to everybody that needs it so that we can all level up together. Let's go. Love y'all. Stay tuned. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.